Welcome to Fireside Chats with Dr. Dorothy. Today I want to share a story and a lesson called Listen to That Inner Voice. Do you ever have an experience, whatever, some are positive, some are negative, but they don't quite leave your subconscious mind, and they'll kind of pop up on occasion and give you some sort of maybe, like the way I'll tell you is it was prompting me to contact someone that I had encountered after years of not seeing them, but I came across them, and then it kept coming up. You need to tell John Robert what a delight it was to reconnect and see them again. We were living in the Washington, D.C. area, and I was a busy mom. I was doing my doctoral dissertation research, and we were very busy and focused on that. It's a grueling process. Frank was working down in the Pentagon and in Roslyn, Virginia, and he was busy. We had a busy family life. Our boys were either in high school or just beginning college. And so I was doing my writing and my research, and we'd gone home. I had a first cousin pass away that I'd grown up with her, and I was close to both those girls. And she passed away rather young, and her funeral was over in Louisiana. Her grandmother, her father's grandmother, that paternal grandmother, lived in, oh my goodness, my grandmother lived in Logansport, Louisiana. I've told you the story of my Uncle Reese's hamburger joint. But theirs lived over in another little town, about 30-minute drive. It won't come up right now, so we'll move on. And they had the funeral there and the burial there. So I was home for the summer, I think. Maybe I flew home particularly for that funeral. But I went up there with my parents, and I encountered and reconnected with one of Laura, who passed away. She had two cousins, and we had one wonderful summer afternoon where we were just kids, maybe 10, 11, 12 years old. And it was a beautiful summer afternoon, and we were at that paternal grandmother's. We were playing in a little blow-up, swimming pool. Had it full of water. We had a water hose, and we just had that innate joy, no worries, no concerns, pure joy and wonder afternoon. And you've all probably had days like that. And you never forget them. They just kind of lock in to your heart, mind, body, and soul. So when I saw John Robert again, it had probably been 20 years, maybe more. He was there for Laura's funeral too. And we were like, it was like lighting up like a Christmas tree to see each other again. It was clear to me that he remembered that afternoon as such a special, special day and never forgot, like I had. And so we reconnected, and it was wonderful to see him. He was now a medical doctor, but he was no longer actively working in the medical field because he had medical challenges himself. And he had heart issues, and he was having to go around with, a mobile oxygen all the time. So I knew that he wasn't really well. And it was like being kids again. Total joy at seeing each other. After I got back home, I got right back into my very busy routine and my writing and my research, taking care of family and all of the other things that life gets in the way. But it kept coming up in my mind, right, John Robert, and put in words how much you remember and value that beautiful day when you were just children shared together. And I would say, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. But days went by, maybe even 2 or 3 weeks went by before it just kept, the prompt kept coming up. And I kept thinking, I can do it tomorrow. I can do it tomorrow. Well, I finally sat down and wrote the note and mailed it to him. And I got a call a few days later from his wife. And she said, your note arrived the day after John Robert passed away. So he never got to see it. And that prompting that had come up multiple times since we had reconnected for that funeral in Louisiana, I didn't act on it soon enough. So my lesson learned today is listen to your inner voice. Listen to those inner promptings. And don't just think, well, I'll do it tomorrow or I can do it later. Our lives are finite. We never know when we're going to be called back to our Maker. I have always regretted and since that I wrote that note one day too late for John Robert to know that I remembered that joy and wonder shared together just like he did. So listen to your inner voice. You never know. You think you have time. You never know when that time will not be available to you again. So sit down, write the note, make the phone call, whatever it takes to tell people what they've meant to you and special memories in your heart and mind. I'll see you next week. Life is always teaching us. Be open to the cues. Cheers.